Hey everybody, thanks for joining me today. I'm still in St. Louis. My daughter's up the road here taking CPA classes, so I got another free day. I'm at the Bellefontaine Cemetery. I think it's about 10 miles from downtown St. Louis, but you won't believe how beautiful these mausoleums are. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to turn the camera around here in just a second and show you a whole bunch of them on this street. Yeah, look at this. This one belongs to Anheuser of the beer family, Anheuser-Busch. All through here. All these mausoleums, a lot of them are for beer family or entrepreneurs whose own businesses and made a whole lot of money. They have the means to build these mausoleums for their families all through here. Yeah, really nice. Really nice. Well, let's get started. I'm looking forward to finding some famous graves in this cemetery, so let's get going. Now we're going to visit with an NFL player, Larry Wilson. He played for the St. Louis Cardinals when they were here. This is before the Phoenix Cardinals. Larry Wilson's drafted in the 7th round. Because he's not real big, he's about 6 foot tall. Looks like he gets some visitors here at the flowers. 6 feet tall, marries Nancy Drew. Interesting. But he's very fast, he has good tackling ability, so the Cardinals make him a safety. Larry Wilson is credited for developing the safety blitz, which means that there's two safeties in football. There are two guys in the back. Safety blitz is when one starts approaching the line of scrimmage, then at snap of the ball, they blitz the quarterback. Safety blitz. Larry Wilson is given credit for perfecting that. Coming up next is a man's man, Tom Allen. He's the first international bare-knuckle heavyweight boxing champion of the world. One bloody fighter, by golly. One tough guy. Look at this picture. Look at his puffy eyes. So if you can imagine fighting bare-knuckle, this guy could beat anybody in the world. One tough cookie. Now they wear 8-ounce gloves. Bare knuckle. Back in the day, looks like he's from England originally. He made a wheelbarrow full of money. Next stop is another go-getter and entrepreneur. Final resting place of Samuel Fordyce. While living in Huntsville, Alabama, he establishes a bank, Fordyce and Risen. Does real well with it. Has strong deposits, great investments. 10 years later, he moves to this area, St. Louis. Takes over the St. Louis Railroad Company. He saves it from bankruptcy. They recover. He ends up developing 24,000 miles of railroad tracks throughout Missouri and Arkansas. Samuel Fordyce. Man, this cemetery is just loaded with entrepreneurs successful business people that's done real positive things for America. Got a couple of actresses that I found here in this cemetery. This is the grave of Martine Bartlett. Her real name is Veronica. She's a bright individual. She receives a master's degree from Yale University in drama. She's born and raised here in St. Louis. She makes appearances in Cannon, Kojak, Quincy. These are 1970s weekly television series. Remington Steele's another one, as I recall. She plays the abusive mother in the movie Sybil. Sybil, you may remember, this is the one that Sally Field wins an Emmy for. She dies at age 80 of kidney failure. This is where all the noise is coming from. Coming up on actress number 2 in this St. Louis cemetery. This is the final resting place of Charity Grace. She was born and raised here in St. Louis. She's best known for her roles in the 1958 film Gift of Love. She plays Sarah, the housekeeper. She does films for Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Peter Gunn, Dragnet. I also remember seeing her in the Andy Griffith Show a few times playing different characters. Here he is, Mickey Carroll, played one of the Munchkins in Wizard of Oz. Tennessee Williams, a poet and playwright, still gets lots of love. He wins 2 Pulitzer Prizes for the play A Streetcar Named Desiree. This is in 1944. He also wins the Pulitzer Prize for the 1955 A Cat on a Hot Tin Roof. I was looking for Dred Scott's grave location. I believe he's been relocated. I have to do some research. But I found all these coins. I think he was right here and his wife located right next to him. I know this is the location because I'll put up a picture now that another person did a YouTube video when he was located here. You can see this Y in a tree and these small crosses in the road. So it looks like he's been relocated. I'll have to do some more research, find out where he is, and go there and pay my respects. So we'll just have to keep searching. Wow. A little bit shocking. A little bit shocking to this famous graves guy. All right, I'll probably do a follow-up video when I find out, get some more information. Okay, next up is an individual by the name of Taylor Blow. We can make out Blow pretty well, but Taylor's a little bit fuzzy. The Blow family owned the Jefferson Hotel here in St. Louis. They also owned a slave. His name is Dred Scott. But Taylor was anti-slavery. Eventually, Dred Scott gets sold off to Dr. Emerson, who relocates up in the Northwest. Dred Scott sues for his freedom. He wins. However, the case is overturned. He comes back to St. Louis. During this time, Taylor is supporting Dred Scott's family, also paying his legal fees. He eventually signs off to free Dred Scott. That's a good thing. Here we can see Taylor a little better now since the sun's gone down, or clouds are overhead. He goes to St. Louis College where he meets his spouse. She's right here. Eleanor Blow. Okay. I just saw in the back there. See if I can zoom up. This guy's name is Beer. First name Beer. St. Louis. I was talking about Dred Scott earlier. Well, we're coming up upon his attorney, Roswell Field. He represents Dred Scott. He's quite a sharp individual. He's admitted to the bar exam at age 18. He's also the father of famous author, poet Eugene Field. If you're ever in St. Louis and you visit Bellefontaine Cemetery, if you follow this white line here, stop at the arrows, it'll point you towards a resting place of somebody significant in history. The one we're coming up to next was on the Titanic. She survived the Titanic, Elizabeth Walton Macmillan. She was the first to tell her story nationally. She was interviewed by the St. Louis Dispatch, told her story. I was driving by here and I recognized the name Kammerer, and I was just wondering if it's the story I remember, and I believe it is, because right over here is David Kammerer, and I remember the story way back that David was a Boy Scout leader. One of his scouts his name was Lucien Carr. Well, David makes sexual advances towards Lucien. Lucien didn't want to have any part of it, so he gets away from him. A few days later, David hunts him down again, makes more sexual advances. Carr ends up stabbing David to death with a Boy Scout knife. A few days later, Lucien Carr confesses to the crime. He's charged with manslaughter. He serves 2 years in reformatory school. And man, this is going back a ways. But I still remember it. I still remember the story. It's probably on one of those crime channels like A&E or the Discovery Channel way back. I think this is in the early 90s. A lot of these grave visits are as I'm driving around the cemetery, since they have headstones. If I recognize the name, I'll pull over and do a video.